city of Floresville. And we're hoping that we can provide a sewer line to it because that property does not have a sewer line currently, and that it would be a business park. One of the requirements for the application is resolution, but also that this property brings jobs to the city of Floresville, which is definitely what EDC is about. And so EDC is going to apply for one on their side all by themselves, but this is because it does with the sewer line. They're asking, EDC said the best, I'm sorry, USDA said the best person to apply for this would be the city of Floresville. So I'm asking you to be able to do that. As Mr. Eisen referenced earlier, there was a time frame. It is due on Valentine's Day. And so I need to complete the application, but I do need to have the resolution as part of it. I know some places are blank, but this is a standard one, and I just have to fill it in. And Mayor, as you can be sensitive to, everything USDA does now is online. And so I have to go online and fill it out. But this is what the resolution is, and we just have to basically fill in what the city has to do.
So the resolution actually is worded, a resolution authorizing the city of Floresville, Texas to apply for a Rural Business Development Grant, RBDG, from the United States Department of Agricultural Rural Development.
Yes, and the maximum is $500,000, and we're reapplying for that.
Madam Mayor, I move to approve resolution 2020-004.
I have a motion on the floor by Mrs. Cantu. Do I have a second?
I second.
Seconded by Mrs. Martinez. Any citizens' comments?
I'd just like to comment from the FEDC. Really, like for y'all to take really good consideration this, because this is one of the goals that we have set forward for the city, is to create jobs and to look more in that industry part. So that's one thing that makes it unique about this is in the past, we've had some industry work come in here, but it's not been outside the city limits. So as we move forward, this will be something inside the city limits to help create jobs for our youth and moving forward.
Thank you, Ben.
Any other citizens' comments? If not, all those in favor, please raise your right hand. Thank you.
Thank you, Council, and I hope I can bring you back some success on that grant.
Moving on to item S, consideration action to approve a plat located within the BTJ of a residential subdivision on project 301 County Road 405, pending engineer and legal final review.
Thank you, Mayor and City Council. As we talked about pending final engineering, and just for the record, our engineer that we have on these things are Intrepid. Russell Justine himself is a civil engineer that we use, which is a local engineer. This is not within our city limits. They have a plat that you all need to serve. I need to sign. It's actually for the county to approve, but the county won't sign or review it unless you all agree. First, mostly of that for the ETJ is that with this agreement that they have to notify us. I believe there's 9 lots. As you see a letter here that says the plat meets all the standards of city standard. We've been able to have our engineer to review that. So it meets our standards. So I guess if we ever grow and become, you want to sign the annex again, oh, Lord have mercy, that we can make sure that it meets what we need to do for the requirements. And so this is not in our city limits, but it's a requirement that you understand and say that you have seen and reviewed that. Because of the holidays and we've been having some cancellations of meetings, we did not review this with P&Z. We're just bringing it straight to you with the engineer's final approval.
Ms. Turner, whereabouts, because this little map, it's hard to read. Is it over there by, behind Walmart?
No, it's not behind Walmart. It's going past the Southern Spring and then you keep going that way.
So I'm way out of,
Yeah.
because I keep, this little map, I can't read it.
Yes.
So it's where Sutherland Springs
So
is?
if you look at it off of County Road 405 and County Road 407, at the intersection of 405 and 407. So it's not in the city limits. It is our ETJ by definition is 1 mile outside of our city limits. So 405 and 407 is where it's located. Even if you annex the whole lot, you probably would not ever get that into your city, but it's required. And I don't want you all to sign something that you haven't had a chance to at least say that there's a larger map if you want to see a larger one, because the plats over here.
I would like to see a larger map, because I know what I need to know what I'm.
That one right there. It's 2 pages. So you working on your side, I work on the
Pass the one. Go ahead, lady first. So, it looks like
Where's those ones? This one right here? No?
It's on that map.
No, let me see.
So this- Oh, yeah, right here. No, it's up.
Okay, we're right.
Así es. Okay,
Where's this?
okay, over there by, that's Old Silver Springs Road?
Yeah. So Highway 181.
Old Silver
This is
Springs
Highway
Road?
181.
So it's going off this way.
But-
Back here.
Okay. But what's this, Old Silver Springs Road? Okay, I know where it's at.
She said Walmart is not.
Over there by the white.
Or Walmart used to be?
No, no.
Not even there?
no. It's over there by Los Silvas.
Yeah, I know. Pues en el trabajo,
Yeah, but
Yeah.
it's not down.
It's just one way.
Yeah, I know where it's at.
So that, let me see.
This is one.
No.
They want you to sign. They want you to sign. I don't want to approve if you don't approve.
Yeah, it's at-
You okay?
So let's bring one from the top to right, go back.
Yeah, this one. By Chance Lake.
Sunnyside Road and Walnut Road.
Where the chief lives.
Okay, I know where it's at.
This is, you see, it's outside of our city limits, it's in our EJ, but it is a requirement. We did try to say a letter that the city wasn't opposed to it. I gave that to them in December. They said, no, they need council to sign, so I need to have it in your package. I know it's a small map, but the engineer is saying that it meets all the qualifications that we would want to have required.
I have another question.
Yes, sir.
It's on Sunnyside Drive.
Sunnyside.
Yeah,
Not
that's on-
Sunrise
That's
Springs.
Oh, I'm sorry, Sunnyside. And there's 9 lots. So it's a very small subdivision, unlike the one you all disapproved at 107.
How far past that, small bridge, where it stops,
The
city
same.
limit? It's a small bridge.
It's further back.
More?
Yeah, wait, past the Saco Ranch.
Has the, okay, the pallets.
And why do they want us to, okay?
Okay, so the county, because it's in our ETJ, which is meaning that it's within our 1 mile of our city limits, the county wants to say that we're not opposed to it for the subdivision. They're not gonna use our water or our sewer, of course, but if they want to make sure that by signing the plat, it means that you are not opposed to the subdivision. Our engineer has reviewed it, as you see here, and they're saying it meets the standards of what you want to be able to do, but county won't approve it unless you all vote to say that you are not
Okay.
opposed to the
I
subdivision.
get you.
Okay.
I understand.
Any other questions? Do I have a motion?
So move.
I have a motion on the floor by Mr. Ortiz. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Seconded by Councilman Minutes. Any citizens' comments? If not, all those in favor, please raise your right hand. Thank you. Moving on to item T, consideration action to approve an agreement between the FEDC and the city of Floresville to allow the FEDC to enter into a $50,000 agreement of funds provided by FEDC to maintain the sports complex fields owned by the city of Floresville.
Yes, Mayor and City Council, I'd like to turn this over to Vinnie at this time. This is his item. This is talking about the sport complex that we talked about earlier, where Little League plays. Ben?
Okay. So for the past few years, Mayor and Council, one of the EDC Board of Directors in the past history, it made a commitment when we helped fund these fields for our youth, was to help maintain the fields. So we always, historically in the past, have dedicated line item of $50,000 to help it. So with the approval y'all sent you earlier, we like to change up a little bit and us take control of the bidding, bidding or contracting out someone to maintain the fields versus how we historically done in the past, where we handed the money over to the city of Floresville, then y'all bid it out for hiring someone to maintain the fields. So with that, that's basically what it's saying, is that we would just like for you to approve, to work with you to maintain your fields, but us control how they're maintained.
And if I may, Madam Mayor and Council, we previously had an agreement, and I think that was in the neighborhood of $48,000, that the city was responsible for the payment of that agreement. But I remember in constructing it, we actually had a caveat in there that said that at the end of the year, the city maintains the right to terminate that contract or
Yes.
renegotiate. And I think, am I correct, Mr. Reed, that's why you're bringing this before?
Yeah, bring it to you because we're after that year, and it was an option for a second year, but with the city, with y'all's city manager talking, I think there's a clause where they can give a right after so many days to get out of it, not continue with that second year. So as y'all move forward with that, we would like to continue to support the city of Floresville in maintaining the fields. Just we would like to take control of how they're being maintained.
Ben, are you gonna keep the same person working on it, or are y'all gonna?
I can't comment on that right now, depending on how we do it. We've explored a lot of different options. I can tell you that my board has expressed finding a local company to help maintain the field so they can be at call not just for the city, but for the Little League and for the youth. And then maybe breaking that contract up and finding a local extermination company to come out that does the thing as far as the fire ants, fertilizing the field, getting the gophers, seeding the field, things like that. They have appropriate licensing because we have a lot of local businesses that have those expertise. And so we like to go that route and then come up and try to find someone that we trust to maybe help maintain the fields. Because I think we had a really good vision in the past, but we have to get the fields to that vision in order to maintain them. So Chef Perez has done a fabulous job with Henrietta, and I went out there today. If you haven't been out there, look at the fields. Henry, the contractor previously, is finishing up his few last things out there, and they're edging the field. They'll be ready for the Little League tryouts tomorrow, and they look really good. So again, just thank you for taking consideration and giving the FEDC the trust in maintaining these fields.
Any other questions from Mr. Reed?
Hey, clarification, so EDC will go out to, if you do go out to bid, you go out to bid and then present to council, or will EDC have the final decision on?
The EDC will have the final decision because there are funds that here we're going to hand them to the city, but of course we are going to come report to the city because they are your fields and just get maybe your final blessing. If that's what you recommend, I wouldn't mind coming to them and just saying, hey, this is kind of where we're going and this is the plan of action. So we're like telling you during we're transparent. That's what we want to do. We want to be as transparent as possible, not only to this council, but to the citizens that use that field.
Any other questions? I will entertain a motion.
So move.
Thank you, Mr. Ortiz. Do I have a second?
I second.
Seconded by Mrs. Martinez. Any citizens' comments? If not, I will, all those in favor, please raise your right hand. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, council. Thank you, Mayor.
Moving on to item 3, executive session. I am going to recuse myself of item 3 for item 3A, B, C, and D. So I would ask Mayor Pro Tem to go ahead and finish chairing the rest of the meeting.
Yes, ma'am. Executive session pursuant to section 551.071 of the Texas Government Code. Consulting with attorney.
I'll make a motion to move into executive session.
Second.
All in favor? Is there any comments?
You need
The
to
time.
have a time?
Time is, hold on.
7:43.
7:44.